Hello, and welcome to Justified Jewel Podcast. I'm your host, Joanne Cox. And here we're doing a series of political discussions so that you're more informed about what to vote for, who to vote for, and what you can be looking for ahead of time and how you can make changes. Again, I have the wonderful guest with all the intellect in this political arena. We have none other than Bryant Weathers. Welcome again, Bryant.
Joanne, thanks for having me back.
Yes. And you are going to tell the viewers today what is it that we're starting with? What is our topic?
So today I thought we should talk about the Fast for Peace again. We've talked about it in the past, but it's the Fast for Peace is the hub for this new political model. And fasting is something, that some Americans are familiar with. They do, like the intermittent fasting and things like that. But many other Americans are not. It's sort of outside their experience. And so to fast is to willingly give something up for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And we often talk about it in terms of food. And so the fast for peace is to give up food for a 24-hour period. And we do this each month on the 15th of each month. No food, just drinking water for a 24-hour period. And and Joanne, we did this together last month, you and me and other
Mm-hmm.
people around the country.
Yes.
And yeah, and this has been going on monthly for since 2017.
And I would just like to tell the viewers that this is the first time that I was fasting along with this group, that it was for peace. And it's one of those things that, as Brian has stated, it is about giving up something. And I did give up the food and I did just water. And I wanted to go in it with an intention. So I started to get myself revved up before the actual 15th to be my head to be in that spot and to just know what am I looking for and what does peace look for. And that's what I'm asking you to do when you join in the fast, to connect with us for peace, peace for the world. We're right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, but we want peace for the world. And when I did this, I felt so much clarity because I went in it with the intentions of what I was looking for. And I felt lighter. And I believe that it opened up so many channels as into what does peace look like for me? What does peace look like in my neighborhood? What does peace look like in the city and in the state and in America? These are the kind of things that I think, and this is my opinion, that you need to do before the fast. And then to find out on the other end, how is it that you feel? And then connect with the hub so that people actually know what did you experience. And now you are with a community, and we know that community moves things. Now, give them some more information maybe on how to fast to make it a healthy choice, to make sure, with other medical reasons.
No, absolutely, that's a great point. And so I should say, well, fasting has been practiced for thousands and thousands of years, and it's safe for the vast majority of adults. There are some adults with certain medical conditions. If you're pregnant or something, you should, or you're on some medication that, that needs to be taken with food. Um, yeah, if you have a medical condition that would make it unhealthy for you to just drink water for 24 hours, then don't don't do anything unhealthy.
Yeah.
And if for people who need, accommodations that need to be able to take some food or something,
Mm-hmm.
that the fast for peace is not supposed to is again it should be practiced safely. So accommodations, if you take some, some simple food
Mm-hmm.
as needed.
And just to segue into that, we do know we want people to do it in a healthy way. We also want them to know that it is about giving something up. And so if you were to give up junk food, if you were to give up dinner, just know that we're all together and we're all thinking of peace. And I would like Brian to sort of dig a little bit deeper into why Gandhi did this.
Absolutely. Yes, Gandhi is the inspiration for the monthly fast for peace. It comes from a challenge that he laid down in August of 1947. Gandhi, as you know and your viewers know, right? He's the founding father of India, and he struggled against the British for many years, trying to get independence for his country. Sort of the way that George Washington and the founding fathers here in the United States fought against the British too. Only his war of independence was a nonviolent one. And so on August 15th, 1947, the British finally turned over control of India to the Indian people. And unfortunately, as they did, they hacked it into three separate pieces, which along religious lines. They said, all right,
Yeah.
Muslims get these parts and Hindus get these parts, and it caused a huge amount of strife. It was about 14 million people who were now living on the wrong sides of these lines that the British had drawn, and many of them had to leave their ancestral homes, and it caused a great amount of strife and violence in during the partition. And so Gandhi was in the city of Kolkata, which is about 3 million people, about the size of Boston today, and it had seen some pretty horrific religious riots the year before, where Hindus and Muslims had fought in the streets, and 10,000, 20,000 people had died. And so the city had been on edge for that year, waiting to see was violence going to break out again. And so the city leaders in Kolkata asked Gandhi to stay and help keep things calm. And so he agreed, and as long as the governor of the province, a man named Shahid Suharwari, a prominent Muslim, agreed to stay with him and live with him and fast with him in in the city. And so by them living together and sharing a house, they demonstrated that Hindus and Muslims could live together in peace and harmony.
Mhm.
And he called on the people of India to observe a fast on August 15th. And so
Yes.
he,
Go ahead.
and so he laid out that challenge. He said the 15th is the day of our trial. Observe a fast on that day. And so in 2017, on the 70th anniversary of that fast, I tried fasting, and I've kept that practice going on the 15th of the month ever since, along with, so in that time we had people in all 50 states and on 6 continents join in, and as you said, share that intention, put that intention of wanting to work together for peace into their day.
And I would like to spread it a little bit further by asking each and every person, as they say, each one reach one. So if you're not trying to pull someone over and make them change all their values and things of this nature, but the thing is, peace should be something that we're all wanting. We should all be wanting peace. And I want to say, what does peace look like in my actual community? And that means that I'm so selflessness to just say, it's not just about Joanne. It is about knowing my neighbor, knowing my neighbor's name, knowing that I can be friendly if I'm having a down day. It doesn't mean that I'm going to take out whatever I'm going through that day with someone else. That's a form of peace. That means getting together with relatives that you just say, I have no desire to be with these people. Well, why is it that you don't? You don't have to have the same thoughts about the same things. Why can't I listen to you? And why can't I just accept that you don't think on those terms like I do? But to be nonviolent and to just say, I am here for you. And I don't have to believe that you like blue and I like red. It's about peace. It is about when you go through the checkout line and someone says hello to you, open your mouth and say hello. It's just a friendly gesture and it won't kill you. And I promise you that if you do this on a regular basis, it becomes so natural to be at peace. And when you feel that feeling that it gives you, you're going to want to spread peace to other people and you're going to want to share this. And when you get that feeling, that is when you decide, I think I need to fast more often. And I just wanted to throw that out all off topic, maybe, Brian. But I want people to know what peace look like. And it's not just necessarily this political peace thing and this war and countries and all of this. It starts right here as an individual with my mindset. Can you stretch that? Uh, how
I,
that makes a connection?
Absolutely, right? And as you say, the faster piece is about putting that intention into ourselves. And then from ourselves, then it spreads out, right, into our family and our community, and then our country, and then the world. That by sharing this intention and refusing to take part in the red team, blue team fight, and saying, let's remember that we're all on Team America, we're all on Team Humanity, and we're all in this together, and that we could work together if we want to. And so
Okay. And
the
so,
fast is a sacrifice that says, look, I'm giving something up because I want to work together for this shared goal.
yeah. And when we say that, and I say that I join you, and I say that there's a hub. Well, what is the hub, and what does that mean when we get down to the hub of the vote with the one and only Brian campaign? What is the hub?
Well, so the hub is the opportunity for people to weigh in on policies. We've talked about the legislative package that we're trying to collectively bargain for in the United States to demand Congress pass the Populist Act before the election. And the policies that are in there were developed over the course of years, in many cases through people who shared in the self-sacrifice of the fast. And so each month on the 16th, a survey would go out to people who had pledged for the fast for peace, and then ask them to weigh in on various policies, various issues that are facing the United States and the world. And then those results help drive the development of the legislative demands. And
Okay,
so,
I
go
think
ahead.
that's important. I think that's important, but don't lose your train of thought because I have to say this. Once you've done that, then this is where you want to do. You want to now weigh in when you get the survey. And you can't get the survey unless you let us know that you are in this with us, in it to win it. And then that way it gets a little bit more connecting, more community because now you are voicing yourself within the hub. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Brian.
And so you can visit votewithbrian.com and you can pledge for the next Fast for Peace and make sure you'll have the opportunity to have your voice, to be able to weigh in on issues. And we've talked in our last episode, Joanne, we talked about how this model, this paradigm can upgrade us to collaborative democracy in the United States. And so ideally you would have people volunteering through the fast and able to serve in a legislative assembly, writing policy outside of Washington, D.C., where people more directly would have some say in developing national policy. So in that sense, it serves as the hub. And in another sense, this campaign isn't about just trying to address our political problems, but also some of our social and our cultural problems in the United States. And one of the things that is we've trended as a nation over the last few decades is towards greed and
Mm.
self-centeredness and saying, it's all about what I want and I want it right now. And so the Fast for Peace is an opportunity for us once a month to delay gratification, say I could eat, but I choose not to. There are other things in life that are more important than just what I want. And one of the things I like to say is that fasting and compromise are two sides of the same coin. They're willingly giving something up. And for us to make progress on political issues, we all have to compromise. I don't like everything that's in the Populist Act. You don't like everything that's in it. And nobody will. But the point is that by working together around one shared demand, that we can all come out ahead and that we can improve the quality of life for every single American. If we can persuade Congress through the moral power of the fast to enact it before the election.
Yes. And when you said the word greed and self-centeredness, that hit me because we are a country of greed and self-centeredness. I think we should have a whole show just on that. Oh,
We,
okay. And
we certainly could.
I don't think people are aware that there's so much greed. And you're right in it. I just want to go with the fast. You're giving something up, but do you think about how much food you actually throw away? Do you think how many times you overeat and you going, this is delicious, but you keep eating? And that's called overeating. And there are people starving and wish they had a tenth of the food that you have in one day. We eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some people call it supper. So they have, 4 meals a day. And it's such a large portions. So for us to just say that we're just gonna give up one day, and they're wishing they had that amount of food in 30 days plus. That is what I think about when I go onto a fast. That is what I think about when I'm saying, let me abstain from overeating. It is just it's just me being selfish, because the abundance is there and I just go overboard. But when I know that there are people right here in America, we don't have to go overseas, right here in America that wish they had a meal or wish they had more food. That's a whole different topic, but I wanted to connect the greed and the selfishness that we all demonstrate and we don't even think about it. I want to bring to the forefront. We're all guilty, maybe not with food, but we're all guilty of greed. And just to let us know more about this here, what happens on October 15th?
So, all right. So this is a monthly fast that again takes place on the 15th of each month. And
Yeah.
October 15th is the last fast for peace before the November election. And so this is our opportunity to show Congress that our commitment to putting peace, bringing peace to things, and refusing to fight and not play this red team blue team game. And so on October 15th, candidates there's three things. There's the fast for peace that serves as a demand that we want Congress to pass the Populist Act immediately, if not sooner. And then third, to vote together for the slate of endorsed candidates across the 470 congressional districts races. So in North Carolina, we'll all have the opportunity to vote for one member of Congress and one U.S. senator. And so for the candidates who want to earn those votes, voters who are willing to vote for both the red team and the blue team, those are the ones that candidates need to win, especially in purple states like North Carolina. And so for candidates who are willing to compete for this block of votes, who are willing to fast with us, take up this demand for passage of the Populist Act, and be willing to support the slate of candidates, that's how they put their names forward, that they say we want to be in the endorsement. And so this creates an incentive for members of Congress to accept this demand and to be incentivized to pass the Populist Act. It gives the challengers running against them, trying to get into Congress, it gives them an incentive to say, well, we want to support the Populist Act too to win this block of votes. And it creates a scenario where if the incumbent and the challenger, both the candidates running for the office, both say, we want the Populist Act to be passed right now, and then Congress actually does it, then both sides get what they want. Both sides get what they asked for. And so in that scenario, the incumbent would get to keep their job. We would help the incumbent get reelected, and the challenger would, by helping the Populist Act get passed, they would help accomplish so much more than they ever could in the gridlock of Washington, D.C. if they'd gotten elected. And so by
Well,
creating, yeah,
the way I see it, it's a win-win. But
it's the
but
important
that's
part of
just me.
nonviolence is trying to find win-win situations.
Yes, we want to know win-win. And I hate to do this, but guess what? It's time for us to end this episode. And in ending this episode, we want to pull you in so that you're coming for the next episode. But before I tell you what we're going to talk about, I would like to challenge you. And I don't know when you're going to see this podcast, but for us, I just want everyone to know that each one reach one and tell someone, ask someone if they would be willing to do this fast on the 15th and to do the hub and to let people know afterwards actually what you were thinking and how you felt after the fast. That would be so great that we could do this, because even though that is going to take place this month, the thing is, we have September and October. Okay. So, with all that being said, I would like to thank Brian again. And as you can see, he's got votewithbrian.com. That is where you can communicate with him. And you can communicate with me, justifiedjewel.com. But next episode will be episode 11, and it's called Rebuilding America. How do you do that? Brian is going to be the one to tell you. And I know he's going to tell you step by step. So you need to tune in. And until then, bring a friend, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne.